wetu. Pia mshikamano liwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Twesimyenyo ora Buganda yafe, ekitiibwa kya Buganda ky'amanda naffe tukikuumenga. Nesitenda baka asanira fugo Buganda bona naffe ngatumwesinga.
Protect and promote
the growth of the daughters of Mary. Mary send His Holy Spirit on us all to attain the prosperity. May we increase in our faith, may we increase in our faith. Keep us all together in unity and strengthen us all in your love. Oh, Saint Aloysius, our patron saint, pray for us every day. Oh, Saint Aloysius, our patron saint, pray for us every day.
Lord the
Father, we ask you to guide us, all the students and the staff of our school. May we work hand in hand together as one to attain the standards of our cause. May the sisters enhance, may the vocation, so that in the future we may become the good servants of the church. Oh, Saint Aloysius, our patron saint, pray for us every day. Oh, Saint Aloysius, our patron saint, pray for us every day.
Almighty Father, we thank you for this wonderful day, and we thank you for our visitors. We thank you for our school and our administration. We thank you for this wonderful program that we are about to have. Almighty, we pray for your Holy Spirit to enable us, get whatsoever they are going to tell us, and put it in practice, and also keep it in our hearts. May you bring sunshine in our hearts and rain, so that the seeds that they are going to grow in us will sprout and then blossom. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those trespass against us. And lead us into temptations, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Saint Aloysius,
pray for us.
Saint Aloysius,
Pray for us.
Saint Aloysius.
Pray for us.
In the name of the Father.
Once again, I want to introduce these people. Please, I want to introduce all the nuns present, starting with Sister Makatupe. Sister Makatupe, Sister Doctor. When all you become a nun and you introduce yourself in the public, never say I'm Dr. Sister. You start with the title which was given to you first. May I also introduce to you Sister Doctor Sarah Sami. Allow me again to introduce Reverend Father you so much. But now, guys, whatever we are talking about here, it is leading to two issues: choice and determination. Okusalawo n'obumanyirivu. So, without wasting time, allow me invite architect.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, girls. My name is Aloysius Bwanda. I'm a student architect at Kalungu University. I'll be starting my year 5 in mid-August. Yeah, so far have 4 years in Bachelor's of Architecture. Yeah, so a little introduction about my background is I had my primary school in Rakai, Bwanda, St. Cecilia, Bwanda. Anyone from St. Cecilia? And then I had my O-level at Kako Secondary School in Masaka. Any of these? Yeah, so then for my A-level, I was at St. Bernard's SS Manya, where I lived, and our sister headmistress, Sister Chiza. So from there, I headed to Kalungu University. But heading to Kalungu University also came with its own, I wouldn't say challenges, I would call them opportunities. So my journey is going to start from there because I believe that's what exactly people need. So during my A-level, I was in a very new community, not knowing anyone, very new to that school. And then I was doing a course of physics, art and math, because from way back, I had a dream of being an architect. Came in A-level, but then I wanted to be an engineer. I was this lady who, should I say I wanted to stand out? Because usually they would say physics or maybe math, like that's a guys, like boys kind of area. And I was like, no, we can actually, we as the ladies also take part in this kind of engineering field. So after my O-level, I had passion for physics, yes, and then math was not a problem. So art was, should I call it art talent in a way, but then it was also enjoyable. So that led me on to PAM, like physics, art, math. So surprisingly, I get to my physics class and I'm the only lady. So I'm like, okay, this is actually gonna be cool because everyone used to like, oh, it's only one lady. So this kind of pushed me to be like, if I'm the lady here, I need to represent. You understand? So this also came with its pedestal. So I kind of try to do it for the ladies, like let's represent this. So yeah, the career comes the hustle and all this. Then COVID-19, and that's actually 2020 what I'm talking about. Then there comes COVID, and then the whole inconvenience. But then literally, thank God, I managed to get 17 points, and the 17 points led me into architecture. So how I got to architecture was I qualified for a government sponsorship, but it was not architecture or anything engineering. And I'm like, no, like that's not my dream. So I'm between crossroads, like, do I give up now? Do I talk to someone? So I'm like, okay. So the course I got in was industrial art, but it didn't rhyme with what I dreamed for myself. So I thank God I have a very supportive dad who I talked to, and I'm like, yes, I got this government scholarship, but it does not align with my dreams. And he was like, what aligns with your dreams? I'm like, if it's not engineering, it's architecture. He's like, okay, apply. I applied to Kalungu, and then architecture I get. That was a very exciting day of my life, and knowing I had a very supportive family behind me that actually gave me that leap, because I knew, considering I wouldn't call it rejecting the government sponsorship. I knew I had to make my dad proud, make myself proud too for his step. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm taking long. So why I'm telling you this story is, by now, any Form 6s or any Form 4s, you should have a dream, at least a plan. It doesn't have to be perfect. There is something you must be good at. Could be math, science, the whole thing. So I think that was enough introduction. So firstly, I wanted to I'm not going to take it should I call it a formal way of career, but then I'm going to try to explain to you what career is, because in school there could be the career talks usually, but personally I never actually got to understand what this whole career thing is. I would just think of a job. I'm just going to give a brief on the maybe categories we could say, or the career paths in this journey. So they're usually in Uganda. We have the STEM. Yeah, I'm going to be very brief because I know this is usually boring. The STEM, science, then technology, then we have what's usually engineering, yes, and then mathematics. So this is where now we are looking at numbers and science. There is some of us who are going to say math has been my thing from day one, and then someone is like science. Yeah, I feel like if I talk about life, heal people, this is my thing. You understand? So that's where you will be like, okay, so where does this my love fall into? So that's STEM for the science and numbers, and then there is the creative arts. There are those of us who are, could say, talented. You feel like this creative thing, or maybe just thinking of something, you just like your creativity in making stuff is way high. So like, I think creative arts is the thing for me. So that's where you find like maybe may fall into the fashion designers, the architects too, because we go to the science and we go to the arts. Yeah, it's a good thing. And then there is the humanities and social sciences, where we see that people who are actually very good with public speaking, people who are very outgoing. Now we could maybe look into you being a lawyer. You're very good at storytelling. You're very good with debating. Yeah, so then maybe we could look into the law thing. Usually humanities is more of that. So then there is the business. Business applies to all, because at the end of the day, the dreams we be chasing is money at the end. So yes, business is us making money work for us, but at the end of the day, all the careers are going to be money choice and money minded. But then it's a core drive for everything. So as of late, there is this media thing where we see content creators, what. There could be something actually good at or maybe you have this, should I call it influence? You could also look into that. Like, it's not bad because it has helped a lot of people make millions. So yeah, you never know. Yeah, so majorly that's it. So with the categories, I hope everyone is following. It actually looks like everyone is noting. That's nice. So with the STEM, the business, the creative arts, at least everyone has by now, I believe, like maybe Form 4. The Form 2, that could be an exception. But Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, Form 6, at least there is something you're like, yeah, if it's this I understand better. If it's math, this is it. So that's going to guide you as you go ahead to like chase your dream. So like the tools so considering for you to have this career path, it's supposed to be planned, because there is this saying in Uganda, atamaijala gatabula. You understand? Like, you could just fall into anywhere, because so if you get a chance to get that knowledge prior, it's best if you actually use it. So I came up with small tools of how you can dream and like plan for a dream and then your career path. First is I call it self-reflection, but not exactly, but this is where you understand who you are. So from the different categories, where do you fall? Where do you feel most aligned? So from where you feel most aligned, what is it enjoyable, because it's supposed to be a variable? Like, write your day out. Be like, okay, yes, I understand school that day is already planned out, but then I just plan the morning prep. Be like, okay, morning preps, I think I should go through this topic. or maybe discuss with someone so I don't doze. Guys, I used to doze in morning preps. And the only medicine I had was later on discovering because I could actually discuss in morning preps, considering there usually no prep masters to look around and be like, this making noise. Who cares about noise in morning preps, guys? Take advantage of the morning preps.
The subject interest much in preps as being but then it's actually a very necessary thing because if you are in form for it now, you already know what subject you do that.
So then there is setting goals.
So now you already know that goals. You know I want to be a doctor, I want to be an architect, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a teacher. So you now have to know what steps am I supposed to be taking. Set a goal. Be like, if it's a doctor I want to be, how do I do this? Nothing ever changes. You now know from that I'm supposed to like maybe pass biology like I just already stated. Now be sure to like at least know at least 3 topics in biology. Very conversant. Even when someone just wakes you up, you're like, okay, yes, that I can do a test about. You can explain to friends. Wow, like making friends. Friends is a very big thing, guys. Make sure you're not solo all the time. Make sure you at least have 3 good friends, or maybe even just one good friend. A friend you know is going to be around, and then make sure to be the friend you would have wanted that friend to be for you.
You understand? You push them, wake them up. If they are maybe trying to lose track, talk to them. A friend that's going to push you, you're going to push them. You guys are going to push boundaries. You understand? A friend. Friends is a very big thing. But then of course there are those people who actually know how to do it themselves. At the end of the day, you might not know you're off track. Or maybe you could be good enough and you're on the track all the time. That's a blessing. But then for we who kind of not just need friends, but then our friends and our further friends, like we actually need friends at the end of the day. Everywhere, anyhow, all the life. Back to the setting goals. So, because I have this big goal, I want to be an architect. So it's not just going to happen in one day. It's going to need a medium goal, a small goal, a daily goal, you understand? So the whole goal could be, I need to be an architect, meaning the medium goal is put enough pressure on physics, math, have art in line, have TD in line, you understand? Like at least let a week not pass, there is nothing, you know? Let a week pass, there is something new you've learned in all the things that actually so there is this phrase where he said, dream big, start small, act now. You want to be a doctor, yes, that's a very big dream. Start small, start with a biology. Maybe someone is talking shitty, like you tell them, like, you know, this is not it for me. Excuse me, sir, I feel like this is an over punishment for the thing I did. Maybe I'm not saying you people should actually do that, but then at times try to talk for yourself, like speak up, tell people like, is there a possibility of a later punishment? And I'm not saying we should be in punishment, you understand? Because at the end of the day, if someone is going to stand up and ask for that, and I don't tell them, you could switch the classroom instead of scrubbing the toilets. You understand? Now that applies here, but then maybe out in the field, outside of school, there could be a giant man who is trying to take advantage. Tell them straight up, like, sorry, I don't want this, I don't want that, and this and this. Be straight, be bold, don't be scared. At the end of the day, the timid fall, the world waits for no man. So reading and research. When you're in school, guys, read, research. Just standing up, you know what you're talking about, is going to bring you a lot of confidence. Confidence is key. Being bold is key. That's a whole career path. Make sure you are very good friend to the library. You do not have to actually go and read everything in the library. At least if the library is not your friend, take advantage of the library you have in your desk, like all the books you have. Make it a library. Be a friend to that library. Make sure at least you know, like, I don't know, reading is supposed to be my friend. I know this is a boring talk, guys, but read. research, be knowledgeable, be able to stand up and talk about a topic. And then be like, no, you don't have to tell someone you're lying to the people. No, you be like, no, object, I think you missed out this. You belong, girls, we belong. Like, no one should tell us nothing. So, yeah, but don't talk the journey alone. Part I've already addressed. Have a friend, have friends, someone you can talk to, someone you can cry to. Tell them all. Let me tell you something, girls. We need to be girls. When you see your friend is smart, tell them, oh my God, you look good. You look smart. I like your shirt. Give all those compliments. The more you give all those compliments, it's going to make you feel more confident about yourself. You're going to be very bold. You're already journaling stuff. That helps you to know yourself better. You understand? When you know yourself better, you love yourself more. You love others better. You understand? I forgot to tell you guys, you look very smart. Yeah. So then faith and affirmation. Guys, have faith in you. You want to be a doctor. Your big dream is being a doctor, is being an architect. Call yourself Architect Mother. I already called myself that. You understand? From day one, like Engineer Mother, Architect Mother. At the end of the day, Architect Mother aligned. You understand? If you like you want to be a doctor, start now. Look at textbooks, Dr. Amina. You understand? Already. If you want to be a lawyer, Counsel Agnes. Already. Because embody it. When you embody it, you're going to act like it. So, I think I'm taking already a lot of time. I think the other stuff, okay, there is some stuff actually can't leave out. So, the being bold, the timidness, okay. So usually, you see how, I remember when I was still your age. Okay, right now I'm 21. We'll be making 22 in October 4th. You guys are likely to know my birthday. Yeah, so I'm practically 22, but you know, yeah, we'll be making 22 in October. But what I wanted to talk about that was when I was your age, like around 16, I was scared to look into the mirror. Guys, okay, not actually scared to look into the mirror, but I was like, hey, what if someone sees me looking into the mirror? Guys, open it up. Tell yourself you can. You understand? Let me not tell you otherwise. Or maybe someone is going to tell me, oh, girl, just overdoes herself in the mirror. Hey, do it. If it gives you peace, do it. Don't make about no other people's comments. You understand? Tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself you're able, you're capable, you can. You can even call yourself, hi doctor. You understand? In the mirror. Your other self, the one you're becoming, is going to be very proud of at the end of the day. When you look at yourself in the mirror, behind every big woman you could talk of, from Sister Mistress here, you understand? That great woman you know, there is the young her. You understand? Behind her, the girl who pushed boundaries, the girl who told herself you can, the girl who told herself you're beautiful. You understand? The girl who took up the space in the room like, yes, don't be scared, don't be nothing. You owe that to your older self. You understand? So with all that I'm saying, one thing I can say, like as I end this, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be pretty, you don't have to be tall, you don't have to be anyhow the world wants you to be. You just have to be brave, confident, fearless. You understand? You just have to own your power, believe you are capable. So then believe everything is going to work with your way. Your world is just going to all collaborate for you. And then when you put God first, guys, I forgot to tell you guys, please pray. Reverend Father, Judge William Bwanda, my sisters present, my colleagues and visitors, the students' leadership present, and our dear girls, good morning. Yes, my name is Brenda Ayusha Mukasa. I'm an advocate at Kalungu Associated Advocates. It's a law firm
in Masaka City. I've been an advocate briefly for now 6 years in practice. That means I left law school around 2018. As for high school, it should be, I've been calculating, I've realized that I'm now old. It should be around 16 years. Meaning most of you had not yet been born at the time that I was at your level. I studied from Sacred Heart, Mushanga, for my O level. Maybe some of you know the school, it's in Mushenyi. After Sacred Heart, I joined Nyasano Girls in Ngunjiri, from where I joined Uganda Pentecostal University in Fort Portal. And at that point, I got my bachelor's in laws. And after attained my postgraduate diploma in legal practice from the Lord Government Center in Kampala. And that is how I am standing here today. I've already had the theme for the day. Every career begins with a dream. And that is true. My theme though is going to be that the dream of becoming a lawyer or becoming an advocate starts from a classroom. Meaning we're going to look at my simple journey of how I come from class to a courtroom. Are we right? Are we together? Yes. I don't know how many of us would want to be advocates. Maybe by show of hands. See? We already have young lawyers among us. And you're going to make it. That I promise you. The dream of becoming any professional. It can be an advocate, it can be a doctor, it can be an architect, it can be a teacher. Begins from where you are. Begins from that classroom, the subjects you study, the things that you're doing, that this school administration is impacting on you. How do I choose to become a lawyer? And at what age did I decide that this is the route, this is the profession that I wanted to take? Recently I was discussing with my husband. By the way, Mom Mutasa, please. And I realized today he decided to be my special chauffeur. So I was discussing with him, when did I decide that I actually wanted to be a lawyer? So I am at Kinyasano Girls in A level, and on a day like this, they bring us people to talk to us. The same way they brought me here. I know there are some people that will be touched. So they bring a girl who was a former student of Gweranyanji Girls in Bushenyi, and the girl had just finished her A level and had passed excellently. So she was in her vacation and they bring her to our school to talk to us. She came, talked to us, and informed us of how she had passed and had been admitted at Makerere University on scholarship, and she was going to do law. I do not even still recall that girl's name, but the words that she said made me
to where I am right now, because it is from that point that I decided this is the route that I wanted to take. I need to concentrate, I need to read, study hard, and be like her. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you if she is a lawyer like me now, but I know that is the girl that impacted me. So shortly after that, I was also in vacation, and the person who was paying for my school fees, then my uncle, I have a humble background. So my uncle is a teacher, and he would raise money, all sorts of how teachers. I'm not saying they do not earn a lot of money, but the money to support the home, take it to university, take it to school with many kids is not as forthcoming as it would be. So my uncle, who is a primary teacher, owns a motorcycle. One time decides to mortgage his motorcycle to a man name to get money for our school fees. I think payment wasn't coming in time, and this man lender decided to take his motorcycle. I didn't know what law was at that point, but I knew something was not fair in that transaction. And that is where my dream starts from. Because I saw unfairness, and I knew the profession that I should take should be able to rectify these kinds of things. That I should be able to avoid, to help, to assist, that such unfairness, such inequality, such injustice should not continue. And it is from that that I was inspired. I told my uncle next, I am doing good. I did not pass to get a government scholarship, obviously, but I got good marks that would take me to university and to do law. We have several universities here. Some have already come here. So you'll be thinking, to be a lawyer, you need to go to Makerere, probably. Maybe some of you don't manage to go to Makerere. You have other universities. We have Mutesa Royal, we have Equator. All these universities, as long as you know what you want, they can lead you to your destination. What we have to get as the point here is know what you want. It doesn't matter if you do not achieve the best of the universities, the best of schools that you want to be. You know what you want, go for it, and you get it, obviously. The journey of becoming, studying, becoming an advocate is not hard, and it is not so easy, obviously. I'm a bit observant, so I've seen some of us putting on t-shirts. You're in debating club, you're in essay writing club, you're doing, I don't know if there is a club like that, you're doing poetry, you're doing literature, you're doing all these kinds of things are the ones that we again realize you need that skill that you had earlier utilized when you were in high school. Right now you're in a debating club. I'm giving an example. You're in a debating club. You feel you're just debating for the sake of debating. But in a way you're analyzing things, you're analyzing facts, you're analyzing decisions. And it is the same analytical skill that you will require when you are doing the legal profession. So it would mean they would not need to teach you much. They will just need to teach you the basics. This is the law application. You will have already started it at this level. So what am I saying? Join these clubs. Because you cannot just be there dormant and you think things will just find you, meet you on the way. No, you have to be doing something with yourself.
as well as disciplines you on what profession to take, it also builds your character, builds your confidence. Because in the profession that we are in, or the profession that some of us are aspiring to, it is not for the shy, unfortunately. It is not for the dormant ones that I know the law, but I'm not going to say it. Unfortunately, it does not work like that. What do lawyers do? Most of you think lawyers were just in court. We are arguing. This one did not steal. This one stole. This one. It does not stop at that point. That we have lawyers, advocates who are earning big money, but they've even never stepped in a courtroom. They've even never appeared before any judicial officer. Have you ever paid a salary to represent people who do not have money, discipline in everything that you do? If you've come to study, it is studying. If it is time for games, go for games. If it is time for food, go for food. Unfortunately, some of us were not given so many hands that we can actually take on so many things. So do one thing at a time and do it correctly. So at the Road Development Center, which you would think it is the hardest of places, surprisingly, when we are entering these exams, we have open book. When I say open book, do you know what I'm talking about? I have my notebooks with me and I am doing an exam. Would you? You can fail. So what does it take? It means you have to know what is actually in those books. Because you will have your books with you. They even give you a whole day doing one exam. You get? So concentration is so important. And that is, you cannot concentrate if you're not actually disciplined. So as I conclude, my journey from classroom to the courtroom, I've given you a brief of how it started. I've given you that I did not have it on a straight line. I also had failures. I also had challenges. You might think probably for you come from a well-off family. You look at yourself, you're thinking, my parents probably do not have enough money. How will I make it? No, things were not easy at all. They were hard. There are times when I would be almost missing an exam. But even when I would recollect myself after all the scandals are done, I would know I have to do this so that it does not repeat itself. You would wonder, why did I join Uganda Pentecostal University if I could join Makerere? Because most of us grew up knowing you would want to go to Makerere, you would want to go to UCU, you would want to go to Uganda Matters, those big universities. The road that took me to UPU is because there was a scholarship, and at that point there was not enough money from my family to support me. That's how I found myself at the Uganda Pentecostal University. It's not a bad school, but it is not the best in our country, and we all want the best, isn't it? So even from there, if alone the lack of finances that were there, I knew I have to go to UPU, study well, and come and compete with these people that have come from all these universities that I actually wanted to go to, because we all come and meet in one place called the Lord Development Center. Now we compete afresh, and we realize that actually me not going to Makerere University was not a big deal. You realize? So even when you do your exams and for you want to go to Makerere and maybe your parents are saying, no, we have your siblings, you're taking this route. That should not demoralize you. As long as you know what you want, you will reach there. As long as you know what you want, as long as you are on the right track, the level or the name of a school should not discourage you. Truthfully, the market is not friendly at all. When I say the market, we understand. We finished school, now we are in the job market. It is not friendly at all. I'm leaving you with a verse, a Bible verse, 1 Corinthians 9:24. 1 Corinthians 9:24. I'm reading NIV and it says, know you not that they which run in a race run all, but one receives the prize. So run so you may obtain. What am I saying? That the people that are running the race of becoming lawyers are so many. To be successful, we have to run while looking at the prize. At high school, we used to do, was it history? Reasons why the Angoni migrated. And one of the main reasons was they saw others moving. So do not just be there because you've seen everyone else doing law, I'm also doing law. No, it does not work like that. That is why they gave you that theme, that every career begins with a dream. When I meet you in the future, I'll be the happiest. And please be free to introduce yourself to me, because I've seen so many of you that I might not recall. But all I can say is, see you there.
Thank you, Councillor Bwanda. I would like to welcome Architect Manuel Bwanda. Please, join us, please. I'm just surprised you. I wanted to bring you about your marriage. Remember, she's not yet 22. You see, she finished when she was 17. She's married out. Yes. Now, I want to invite Kalungu and welcome question from them. They have an emergency, and I pray that it will be brief because we want by 3. This week should be going for other activities.
Good afternoon, members. I want to thank the St. Aloysius SS for inviting us as KIU. I'm going to be brief. My name, as I said, Ngobi Ibrahim, a staff member at Kampala International University. Before I go further, also I may give you a little introduction about my life or where I started. I completed senior 4 in 2016. In that side of Usoga region, I was in a school called the Rena College, Mayuge. I went for A-level. I completed in 2018 A-level. Then after completing A-level, I was there just, as you know, I've completed, you don't know what next, because the tuition wasn't there at home. And it was even my first time to enter Kampala. Then I was looking at university, where to study from. Muzai told me, go and look for a university where you can study from. I started looking for universities, visiting them, me alone. I entered Kampala. Now I'm just looking for universities. Then I landed on KIU. And my dream was, remember, my mother was a trader. These people who buys those agricultural goods. So I could move with him, going to Kenya, taking those maize, what. So I wanted, in fact, those people who are working at the borders, I asked them, which course do you do? May I complete the senior 6? Because I was seeing they are earning a lot of money. Then some of them, they told me, may I did the procurement and logistics. My dream started from there. Now, I landed on KIU. Then, I wanted to do a bachelor in procurement and logistics. And good enough, they gave me that course. So I did a bachelor in procurement and logistics. It is an open course. It doesn't have any essential subject like other courses, like this one in medical engineering. This is an open course. Any combination can do that course. Then they gave me an admission for that course. I said, wow, that's good. I started. And still, because my mother was having a lot of children, so I told him that, you know, I'm going to sponsor myself for you be helping those ones who are still young. Then he told him, will you manage it? I will manage. Then I asked him online learning or distance learning, and they gave me still. But remember, I don't have where to work. I've just entered the Kampala. I've asked again online learning. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. Now, I got my Kalungu there in Kansanga, as KIU is located in Kansanga. That's where I studied my bachelor. I got there in Kalungu for 150. Then I sat there at night. Then I said, will I get tuition here? I'm paying 2M. So, what came into my minds? I said no. I had my papers for senior 4 and senior 6. I went and applied to KIU for any vacant or for any job at KIU. Imagine you have just joined, they don't know you. This is my first time to enter Kampala. I applied for KIU. I applied there, then my papers were there for almost 2 months without receiving any call. I said, now these people, when will they take my papers? But I still, in the evening, I received a call, still at KIU. They called me, come for an interview. I was not believing. I said, this is a Mufere? Oh. Because I just joined the university. I dressed very well in the morning. I went for an interview. Even what I was talking there, I don't know, they were just laughing in an interview. I was just making them laugh. I was just making them laugh because I don't have any experience. Then they asked me, how much money do you want to be earning? I told them 800 according to the course I'm doing. They were laughing. Then they told me, how are you going to make our university? You have found us, we are earning 5 million every day. How are you going to make our university to be earning like 20 million? Me, I told them, try and give me an office, you will see. Those people, they were just laughing. But remember, I was studying online distance learning. Good enough, they gave me that course. I passed the interview because me, I was just laughing. They were just laughing. Then they took me to the library, working there in the library. And good enough, they gave me that course. So I did a bachelor in procurement and logistics.
Doing me what you want to do. Lord, I surrender my soul to you. Set me free. Set
our prayer. I request that every day we make that our prayer, because it is God who knows what we should be. So in summary, I'm going to take you through the journey. How do we start the journey to make coffee or any other steps? Step one is that involve God. That is the first step. Whatever I want to be, involve God, because we have seen that it is God who begins the journey. We thank the headmistress and all the sisters who have been leading this school for instilling Catholic values. When it is time for prayer, have an intention and say, Jesus, show me what you want me to become. Otherwise, if you do not have an intention, then prayer time will be nothing for you. You will lose it all. I remember when we were here, there are some students who used to say the rosary very fast. They would read the rosary within 15 minutes just to finish. And students liked them. They said, you run fast and read the rosary so that we finish in time and then read books. Because they used to rush it so fast. So that's a prayer without an intention. But a prayer with intention, you must meditate upon what you're saying. So we are saying step one is involve God in your career. That is the first one. Step two is the dreaming stage. I thank my colleagues, the first speakers. They have emphasized dreaming. So what is dreaming exactly? Do you go to sleep and get a dream that you're a doctor? What is exactly? You have to sit down and think, where is my interest? What is that that takes my heart? That is the dreaming stage. That is step two. Is it true that I want to become a doctor or someone else wants me to become? There are some parents who keep on motivating their children, you must be a doctor, you must be a doctor. And then you also start thinking that I should be a doctor. But sit down and say, is it this that I want? That is the dreaming stage. We said step one, involve God. Stage two, sit and listen to God's voice. He will inspire you. Where your interest is where you're called to serve. So step two is the dreaming stage. For those interested in the medical field, be sure God is really calling you to the medical field, because it is a call, a special call to serve. It is a call to participate in the healing ministry of Christ, and it is a life of sacrifice. Most of the doctors do not have their own time. We are driven by the patients. I think for the last, since I qualified as a doctor, my phone has never been off. Actually, it is not supposed to be off, because even at night you receive a call. This is this. So it's a life of sacrifice. So you must be committed and you must love it. That's why we have to pay attention to that stage, the listening stage. Is it really that God is calling me to be a doctor or something else? So, because it is a life of sacrifice, we need to be very keen about that step. Then, step three is answer the question why. Why do I want to be what I'm feeling? Why do I want to be a doctor? Step two, we're answering the question, what do I want to become? Now step three, why do I want to become that thing? For doctors, if you're really thinking, maybe I want to become a doctor because doctors are rich. The doctors are not the richest in the world. Then if you say maybe they are smart, yes, they may be smart, but not the smartest. Is it money that is driving you? What is that force? Is it prestige? When some people are called doctors, you feel you're high up. But the more you become the more you get papers, the more even you should be to the ground. So what is that is motivating you to be a doctor? For doctors, it should be passion, special love. You feel moved by those suffering. You feel touched by the sick. That should be the driving force. Otherwise, if it's money, the more you will not get, the time you will not get money, you will not attend to patients. It should be that special need, that special drive to look after the suffering. That should be the positive thing that is driving you to become a doctor. If it's money, you start asking for. You've seen some doctors being imprisoned or cautioned in court because of getting money from patients. So have a right intention for being a doctor, a positive attitude. That is step 3. Step 4, know yourself. Don't assume that those who are not doctors were not bright. Yeah, there is that assumption. But it is not the case, because God gives differently. If God gave you a gift to be a doctor, then respect the gift that your colleague also received. Some people think others are less intelligent. Being a doctor or being a certain career, it is God given. Just remain humble and avoid exaggeration of self-importance. Step 4, not step 4, but another characteristic of a doctor is professionalism. Professionalism, whatever you are, make sure you're presentable you're doing what your career demands. For doctors, you must have the necessary skills, competence, be committed at this level. If you're desiring to be a doctor and you're late coming, then that one might not work for you. If you're desiring to be a doctor and then you're not comfortable with the sciences, you don't like the teacher of chemistry and biology, then you're on the wrong track. So professionalism starts from now. You shape yourself to suit the career that you're desiring. So one speaker commented about intelligence. What is intelligence? Some people think when I score 99 in chemistry, I'm intelligent. Yes, you are, but that is not the only type of intelligence. There are many, many types of intelligence. One speaker talked about emotional intelligence. We embrace that. I will not go into that. But other forms of intelligence include linguistic intelligence. Some people are good speakers in public. They are good at convincing. Musical intelligence, like music, dance, and grammar. Don't say that those who failed academically are the ones in MDD. No, it is a form of intelligence because the spirit gives differently. We have bodily kinetic intelligence. This is ability to use one's body to create or perform. Feel that you can. Whatever gift you got from the Lord, feel that you can. Yes. Because if you underrate yourself, then you might end up comparing yourself with others. So and so got 90, I got 50. So what can I do with my 50? I can do something with the 50 I got. Those are some types of intelligence, but there are about 9 of them. But for the doctors, there is some specific type of intelligence that you must have. One is logical mathematical intelligence. Capacity to think and solve logical problems. Because doctors need to understand complex medical concepts, analyze data, apply scientific principles, diagnose illnesses, and develop treatment plans. So you really need to have that thinking capacity, but have it with humility. I recap the steps. The first one we said involve God. The second one, know what you want. Then answer the question why, and then know yourself. So we have been on that step 4 of knowing ourselves. And we looked at empathy, communication, professionalism, hard work, and intelligence. Step 5, set your goal. This is now when you have to sit down and write. Now I've known I want to be a doctor. I have the reason why I want to be a doctor. Now you answer the question, what type of doctor do I want to become? That is step 5. Write down, you can call it a vision, you can call it a goal. At your level, you can call it an objective. You write it down that maybe I want to be a smart, humble, welcoming, compassionate, respectful, hardworking, time-keeping doctor. You describe yourself. Yes, you describe yourself, because it is this description you've given to yourself that is going to be a driving factor for you. When the bell rings, you're already in class because you described yourself that I want to be a timekeeping doctor. Write down your values, the values you have. What is a value? A value is something you consider to be important. That if anyone told you that drop this, you can't. Like, for example, myself, if you told me that live religious life, I can live being a doctor, but I can't live being a religious, because I value that. It is my most important thing. So once you write down what you value, that means you will never drop it. As a person admiring to be a doctor, time should be your value. Value time. Keep time. Go to class in time and do everything. Be a good timekeeper, because you know at all time I have to keep time. It is my value. It's important to me. Then another thing is value your life. Do not live a reckless life. Keep away from bad relationships to avoid. Avoid what? HIV is one of them, yes. Because if you have a specific goal right now, for example, if you are in senior 6 or senior 4 and your value is marriage for now, will that work? I know there are some of us who are really finding some subjects so hard. But just tell Jesus that, you know what, I cannot do it alone. Write it several times that, Jesus, I can't do this alone. Come and support me. Testify. You'll be living testimonies. If you do it with faith, you will pass. Because I've done it to those I'm mentoring. I have some siblings. When they bring a bad report to me, I say, can you do this? Can you try this? Can you pray? And then they say, it worked out for me. So for those with hardships, God will find a way for you. Do not lose hope. Be focused and committed. Then step 7 is find a mentor. Find a mentor. They have already talked about this. That is the person you desire. The person who matches your interest. And then step 8, pass your examination. You cannot proceed without passing. So for those desiring to be doctors, pass your senior 6 examinations.
Allow me to invite Madam Ma'am.
Who knows this song? Who knows that song? Someone should come and sing it here. Oyagala nsire birungi by'ompala, oyagala mbatire byennira, yesiira kumanya ensonga weebale Mukama nsiiba. Oyagala nsire birungi by'ompala, oyagala mbatire byennira, yesiira kumanya ensonga weebale Mukama nsiiba. As you're all seated here, your dreams are going to be challenged by so many things. Parents pass away. Finances become scarce. Along your ways you have milestones of your own. Like we say, some of you have not yet grown the buds. The breasts are still onto the chest. When you go out, you're not going to be watched the way you're watched here, controlled and guided the way you're guided and protected here. Some of you, your parents are going to take you to work in their bars, in your vacation. They're going to take you to work in your hotels. Do not refuse this. Some of you, you're going to be dragged by friends to go for parties. You'll end up taking a sip of alcohol, in water, in soda. You'll find it interesting to go back again. There are certain things that we do not do by ourselves if we do not touch ourselves onto the Almighty. If you don't seek God's guidance, all of those things I've mentioned, you're going to end up in their trap.
Do you get it? But he said that the background is strong. You'll always be reminded of the principles, the rules and regulations of St. Aloysius. Okay? What were you told to do and not to do? So after my graduation, even before I think my graduation, I told those people, the moment I finish, I'm going to work with an NGO. Are you saying it or do you feel it? I told them. They said, no. Getting a job, you must be known by somebody. I told them, no. God knows my name. So whatever you say, whatever you confess upon yourself, confess it in faith that God is looking for the courage and the strength inside of you. Do you really mean it? Are you going to jump or you're just scaring people around you? When you say you're jumping, jump. Okay? And when you jump, jump with faith that you won't slip and fall. But if you jump with doubt, you're going to slip and fall. The moment you confess that I want a vehicle, God will provide the fuel and He will assign it the duties and purposes it will take up. Okay? So what do you want to become? Where do you want to work? What kind of people do you want to serve? I'm walking towards where I am today. So when I told them God knows my name, I'll work there. All of a sudden, I worked with UNHCR, an organization called Inter-Aid Uganda Limited. God will assign angels to see that they make you sit onto the throne that He has prepared for you. What boys do, girls can. I said, God, this job, they are going to give it to other people, yet I also want it. You get it? Then afterwards, what happened? All the 697, I can't forget that number, failed. My boss was called Scholastica Nyasinyama. Yes, she was a woman of faith. Very prayerful. She said, let Anita take the job. So like I said, my name keeps changing. When I was there, I was called Anita. So out of those candidates, they all failed, but God had my prayer. Are they giving this job away when I'm here? These are the words I really said. I think you're marking my words. Every step I'm entrusting who? God. Not myself, not my own power. All of a sudden, she was like, let Anita take the job without an interview. Remember, I told them, God knows my name. And my journey as a medical personnel starts from there. You may wonder why I passed there. My journey as a scout started from Mengo SS. My journey as a medical personnel starts with UNHCR. And yet I was a graduate in office management and secretarial what? But because the Spirit had already chosen me, the Spirit had already assigned me, it was from there I became a medical records officer. And as a medical records officer, you must have what we call interpretation of the language. We can differentiate patients by their diagnosis. Refugees have similar names. But can they be diagnosed by the same sickness? Can it be? You may not understand the word diagnosis. After taking the history of the patient, you're not going to say that the patient has a lot of heat, the patient is vomiting, and then you put that one as a sickness, vomiting. But what is causing vomiting? What is causing headache? What is causing stomach pain? What is causing the muscle contract? So, a collection of all that patient history is given one particular name. Okay? Is given one particular what? Name. And then from there, you say the patient has malaria. That is a That is a what? Do you have a talent to interpret all that? As you want to become something, you must have love and passion for something. When you are growing up, what did you want to become? Some of us wanted to become farmers, doctors, what? But we don't know what a doctor does. We just see the doctor in the white gown. We don't know what an engineer does, but we see him putting back a certain machine, raising towers, doing so many things. But inside of you, the voice that is inside of you, it is telling you, who are you? We were all created with a purpose in life. Do we agree with that? Do you feel a purpose? Do you feel a depth inside of you? Have you ever sat there and you feel like you want to do something? So that something that you want to do, that feeling you have inside, is the profession that you have to be in direction with. Do you get it? So in my journey, during that time as a medical records officer, we were forced to be trained in medical skills and knowledge, to participate in the clinic, because when refugees come, my dear, it is something else. They are flowing. And remember, I was the one working next to the doctor. At the end of the day, I got a chance to be trained. And when I was trained, I became a perfect medical officer in that place. And refugees would keep posting, the best counselor we have, the best, that kind of a thing. But I was doing that work inside of me because I had the love and passion for it. I would just be called on phone. Anna, we would like to know this patient. I was like, no. There are two manners, anesthesia. But one is diagnosed with this sickness, then the other one. Now look for the one who is, and that is how I became the perfect employee. I won the award of the best employee in the whole organization. Achievements were following me. So when I just resigned from that organization. I did not renew my contract. I came out, when you're trained from there, they retain certain things that you don't have to go with. So when I resigned, when I moved to Masaka, the first place I joined was Masaka, Kampala University. So when I joined Kampala University, I worked for them for 5 years, still as an administrator. I was entrusted with a big office and I was the decision maker there. I had to reform it to the principles of the Catholic background. Like I told you, that is where I started from. So whenever they find me, they're like, hey, Anna. And that Anna has that background. So don't forget the roots of St. Aloysius. Background is important. That's why they ask, why did that girl go to school? Who are the parents? What you're doing today is going to affect your present. Okay? The schools you're in today are going to affect your present. I'm a proud girl because of the schools I went to. What school would I be mentioning today before you if they didn't have a good reputation and discipline? Why would I get the confidence? You get that? So my dear, when I was there, I resigned. I introduced the medical clinic. I said these students pay 100,000. They will need accountability for it. But I have other skills other than this one. Do you mind if we open up a clinic? I'll be handling the two things. And we opened it. After those years, I resigned. I had a situation when I have children. I sit home to give complete nursing and care. So when I had my firstborn, I had to sit. I resigned. When I had my second one, still I resigned. So in those 2 years when I was caring for my second-born son, they were like, we need Anna back. Who can fill this vacuum? We need Anna back. Then when I was called, they were like, we want you back as our nurse. I said, let me think about it. I had to give it a thinking. So in the morning, I went back to work for them as a nurse. I served them as a nurse for 4 years still. But life has its own challenges. If you want to be honored and respected, don't speak about yourself. Don't praise yourself. Do not tell people, you know what, my father is the president. You know what, I have millions in the account. You know, this is what I am. No. Let people find out themselves. You're going to be mocked. You're going to be disrespected. You're going to be challenged. But why is the other strong person in you who has a purpose, knowing where you're going? What boys do, girls can do it. A dream girl. How many about you have heard about dream? Dreams, the project called Dreams. Have you heard about it, Dreams? Are you aiming at scoring to pass? Are you aiming at scoring to get that course of your dream? Is it a D? Is it a C? Now this time around they were saying at least a C. But get to know, yes, keep changing. Next year they will say we want a B. Things are changing. They are cutting numbers. They've already got the medical personnel they want the number, not so sister. They've got the number. Now they are going to raise, to reduce on the number. But as they reduce on the pass mark, have the pass mark they want. Have the B. You get it? Sister was giving you here the requirements. The way she wrote, did you write them? What do they want in math? What do they want in biology? Chemistry? Make your parents understand what you want to become. Are we clear with that? Tell them I want to become an agriculturalist. Tell them I want to become a pharmacist. But as a pharmacist, what does a pharmacist do? With the nursing, you have the sky is the limit. When you do a diploma in nursing, the sky is the what? Do we agree with that? A clinical medical personnel, that is a clinician. Yes, they have the same duties. They have the same cause, care for the patient's treatment, administration, interpretation, those things. But there is a limit. There are things that a clinician cannot do, which a nurse does. We have midwifery. You shall not decampaign midwives, because many of us, we are still giving birth. Now if we stop you, however, as a midwife, you must have the nursing skills. Are you getting the difference? So we've had the midwives going back to upgrade in nursing. Are you getting the point? So as you graduate as a midwife, you are required to go back for nursing skills. A nurse can deliver. You get it? And yet we have a midwife. So as you choose the things, know which way is easier out. Okay?
I'm here to introduce Reverend Father Dr. George William Byalugaba, who comes from Revitakuli Parish, Sembabule District. I'm from Revitakuli, but I know there are some students from that place. They will have to say hello to you. Father started from St. Joseph's Primary School, Rebitakuli, and from there he joined St. Bernard's College, Chiswela. He later came to Bukalasa Seminary for his from senior 5 to senior 6, and then later joined Katigondo Seminary for his bachelor's in philosophy. He later joined Gabon National Seminary where he got a diploma in pastoral theology. He later went for another bachelor's in divinity from Makerere University. He went to St. Augustine's College of South Africa, where he also got another bachelor's, or no, a master's in education. Have you heard that university? Yes. St. Augustine's College of South Africa. Okay? He stayed there, and then later on, he went to Santa Clara University in California for his master's in ethics, where he also got his PhD in ethics, same university in California. This is his working experience. He worked in Rugby Parish, Rwamagwa Parish, Buyamba Parish, Mbuye Parish. He went to Kokstad Diocese in South Africa. He went to University of KwaZulu Natal in South Africa. He has also worked in University of the Western Cape Town in South Africa. He's currently, he has also been a lecturer at Uganda Matters University, and currently he's the director, Uganda Matters University, Masaka campus. Let us all stand up and welcome Reverend Father Dr. Byalugaba George William.
The headmistress, colleagues, beloved students, protocol observed, good evening to you all. Good evening, Father. I have no doubt that you are tired, but bear with me. Having been in a class, I know what time is. I will try to be summarize, but I'll bring you all that I had prepared. Headmistress, thank you for that humble introduction, and first of all, thank you for inviting us. As you have heard, most of my time actually has been outside Uganda. I went to South Africa when I was only 4 years in priesthood, and I came back after celebrating 25 years. I lived in South Africa and America for over 23 years. When I came back, I found a lot of change in Uganda, including the languages. We have few words that have come which were not there by the time I left. I want to give an example. The word ubufele, that word was not there. Obuyaye, ebichupuli, obukenuzi, okulembeka, okunonya akawogo, okukula ebinnyo. All those words, those are just only samples. But all those words tell us what a society we are in. A society has changed so much that when I came back, I got scared. You will see many people coming to you, trying to make you friends, not because they love you, but they want to get something from you. Some people you talk to, sometimes they promise I'll call you back and they'll never call you back. So I became so scared It's only now that I'm getting used, not used that the situation has changed, although I try to be conscious not to be like them, but it's not easy. What am I trying to say? Our theme today is to dream. But the society we are going to dream in is the society that I have just only described. A society of schemers. That is where we are supposed to be. That's where we are being brought. And that is a society in which we are going to dream. Because our dreams, you cannot dream something that you have never seen. You only dream, your experiences come back in life through a dream. So if you have never seen something, you can never dream about it. Our dreams are the things that we meet, experiences, they are the ones that come back. So if we are to dream today, or to make or form our dreams, the society we are in determines a lot about our dreams. And that is why today, much as many speakers have mentioned, have talked to us, one could say we are focusing on what to get. Somebody was asking, what determines life? Is it what I have? Many of you have heard of Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize was introduced by somebody called Alfred Nobel. He was a rich man who even invented these strong bombs that destroy human beings. At one time, Nobel was sick. And incidentally, his brother, who was also Nobel, a family name, died, and the journalists thought it was Alfred who died. So in their description they said, Kanyamusai yafude tiensi egenda kufuma obuwerero. And when he read it, he had not yet died, but they thought the one who had died. So when he read what they described about him, he said, is this the way the world understands me? Ensi bwenti bwentegeera n'alabanga si kirungi nnyo. He bequeathed all his wealth for peace causes. That is how Nobel Peace Prize started. Nga ensi emutegedde nga Kanyamusaayi n'alabanga kye bajja okumujjukirirako kya buswavu n'aga nti nteeka okukyusa obulamu bwange. Mu byonna njagala kujja nti kuki kiwandyagadde bakujjukireko ng'obadde ovudde mu nsi. The society we are living in now is taking a lot of material achievement as the only goal in life. I teach ethics. That's why I majored. And I always talk about three types of values. Moral values like integrity, honesty, compassion, justice or fairness. Those are moral values. And those are the ones that describe a human being. If they asked me, tell me about George, you will not say George drives the Mercedes-Benz. It does not describe me. You don't say George is a black or a bald guy. No, yesterday I was not bald. What describes me is the character. So material character is what values are one of the elements that is very important in life. Then we have social life, friends, society, or family, children or marriage, religion. All those are important. Where I belong is very important. And then we have material things or values, that's money. So of the three, what is the most important? Obviously, it is moral values. The second would be social values. And the last would be material values. Because one should sacrifice material values to uphold the family, friends, religion, and above all, not compromise his moral integrity. But Uganda and the society in general today has taken material value as the most important thing. Somebody sacrificed his friends for the sake of money. You betray your friend for the sake of a job. And then moral values, integrity, amazima bagalia, galeta sente, those have come completely compromised and forgotten. I want to say, much as we live in a society, rather we dream, we need a society that can form our character to be able to dream the dream that can transform the society and make us people the society is proud about. This week has been a Madiba Day, Mandela Week. Mandela is the South African president, first president, who ruled only for 5 years and has left a legacy unforgettable. What made Mandela what he is not money. It is not his family. It is because Mandela stood for justice and integrity and fairness. So if we are to have people like Mandela, we need a strong family, we need a strong society, and we need even strong religious institutions. Go into our schools today, from primary, secondary, university. What do you find there? If it is not corruption, it is mismanagement, it is coaching and stealing or cheating in examinations. If you don't, then you look a fool. Botaba mubigezo. Abana bane batayita baga nti ye yali ali kuki. It is the way of life. Genda mu malwaliro. It is money before service. Before you are being operated on, bajaga nti twetaaga sente bweziti. I'm not talking of any profession, I'm just talking about facts. Many people have died when they wouldn't have died if they had money at the moment. But they have no money, they are there, they wait until the family says some things in order to come, and it is too little, too late. If you are to run a business on integrity and honesty, your business is likely to collapse. That is the society we are living in. Therefore, my dear friends, as I stand here, I want to say you have to dream, that is true, but you need a society or a community of men and women who can help you to shape a direction that you dream. The dreamable dreams, you dream the dream that can change and transform our society, and that society, it must be helping you to achieve what you achieve in order to form your character. And here I stand on behalf of Uganda Matters University to tell you that Uganda Matters University is one of the few universities that can help you to form your character, to dream realistic dreams, and be able to achieve the goal of your life. Why do I say Uganda Matters? Uganda Matters has core values. It is based on, it has a vision and mission, but I want to talk about its values. I'm not going to explain them, just an enumeration. Transparency. Uganda Matters University built on that principal core value of transparency, which is a rare commodity today. Accountability is another core value. Reliability, quality, and action based on the institution ethos, which is the ethos of the Uganda Matters. Therefore, as we always say, you cannot give what you don't have. A corrupt society, a society that is not corrupt, that is not transparent, cannot make people who are transparent. Uganda Matters is the only university that can help you. Why do I say only? We inform your character, your conscience. Obengo mainti okolaki ngoba nti nziba naye kyenkola si kituufu. Another subject that is so compulsory in Uganda Matters University is critical thinking. We need people who are critical in analyzing their situation. Tomala gatwalibwa nibagamba nti oli agamba nti nibagamba nti oba doctorate nange njagala kubeera doctor. No, you have to be critical thinker. Am I capable? Do I have the potential? So Uganda Matters University, in a nutshell, it shapes some people who have character based on the ethics and especially virtue ethics. Virtue ethics is that which builds the character. And we always say in virtue ethics, we become virtuous by practicing virtues. And the more you practice virtue, the more you become virtuous. And for those who've finished year 4, you can as well come for a certificate. And if you finish in year 6 and you don't have 2 principles, but you want to go into a university and you have what we call high education certificate. For 1 year, then you go into that. Uganda Matters University is affordable. We try to make sure that everybody affords to go to Uganda Matters University. We have different types of bursaries. We have what we call half-tuition bursary. We also have today MasterCard bursary, especially those who come from vulnerable communities and they are majoring in agriculture. That one is actually 100% covered. It is a bursary full time. Then we have those who excel in sports. We also have sports bursaries. Those are for undergraduate. And then we can help somebody who is doing sciences also to apply for study loan, which is the government loan. I'm based at Bwanda Cultural Center. If you have questions, we can always attend to you physically or even through online. Briefly, as I said, I know we are tired and many others have to come. I'm conscious of time. That's what I want to say about Uganda Matters University. We have many who have gone through it, including our master. Thank you very much for introducing yourself, and many others. So don't fear, tomorrow you will be one of us. Thank you once again, and thank you for listening to me.
Let me welcome Mr. Bwanda from President First University. Thank you so much, and the Master of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, may we stand up? And we do it as academicians. And academicians are fast. So no, those still seated, I don't know whether they are academicians or are they part of SAP? They aren't. So we're going to do a very simple thing, alright? Can you leave your chair and move up front a little bit? Do you remember Echibobo? Echibobo. Who's going to make me do that? There's someone here who wants it. Thank you. Please come back. You come here. Thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Nakawye Patricia.
Nakawye Patricia. Thank you so much. I think we needed that because there's so many of us busy. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from Mutesa, the first rural university, and we call ourselves the only royal chartered university. Why royal? Because we come from the kingdom of Uganda, and same for women, which is started by the church. Ours started by the Kabaka, right? We all did social studies, I guess, right?
And there was that question that used to come, I think around P4, P5, P6, up to P7. There was that gentleman who wrote a letter to the Queen of England. You remember? The answer we used to give? Oh, clap for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Those were so many years when actually the current king, His Majesty, had actually not been born. Alright? So Ssekabaka Muteesa the first is a grandfather to the current king. Now the first president and Ssekabaka Muteesa Owokubiri started the so-called Masaka Technical Institute here in Masaka. But that was Buganda Kingdom. And the current king, of course, after what happened, government took over. And in 1993, when government of Uganda returned Ebyafe, all right, the then Uganda Technical College was taken back or was given to us. And now the current king established a university called Muteesa, the first Royal University. It is in recognition of that great contribution by that great monarch. I and you and many of us would not be here if it hadn't been for the contribution of that king. Alright? But he had been forgotten, unfortunately, until recently when this university was started. We started in 2007 and we are now 17 years in the academic field. I'll mingle or mix up my presentation in a way of trying to narrate you my simple and humble background. Alright? I did not introduce myself in details. I come from Busoga. You would be wondering why I'm actually serving the king. I come from Bujiri. And I don't know if there are any Basogas here. Oh, I'm going to go Basoga. I'm surprised all these people are now Basogas. So the Kabaka Chalazinga Abatugire. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from a polygamous family because you realize I'm Jamaican. And you know the Muslims with the polygamy, it is okay. Alright? So my father is a simple policeman. We come from 3 mothers. Yes, and my mother is Kadurare, Wanankuru, from a family of about 18 children. Yes. So, you can, and I'm the firstborn actually. So you can imagine, I want you to imagine one thing. A police officer at the time, around 1996, that's when I was starting school. Then the police officer was earning less than 250,000. And at the time, we were about 10 of us who needed to go to school. I liked someone who said, the person who mentored, who she looks up to is the President Museveni. I liked her. Because if it hadn't been for UPE, I think most of us would have not made it. That's why I want to thank the government in that respect. So I am a product of universal primary education. And I'm proud to associate myself with UPE. Alright? But even then, getting scholastic materials like uniforms, books, wasn't and is a task for my dad, and I want to appreciate. I actually went to moderate UPE schools within the village. But God was good on my side and I had to get 15 points. Are they called aggregates? The aggregate. My father was excited. I was the first one and I'd gotten 15 from Bujiri. That was actually a 4 in our family. Alright?
They were excited about me getting what? And then he said, Omwana wange simereka bujiri, I must take him to Entebbe parents. So I went to Entebbe parents with my 15. But as if he had not done enough homework to evaluate his financial position. So I was only at Entebbe parents for 1 year, senior 1. And in senior 2 I had to go back to Ujiri because I would not be supported fully. Alright? Now when I went to sit for at least a year, but then there was a dilapidated building around school, secondary school, around our village, so that school was called the Mayuge Dynamic. You know PhDs? Pull him down. Because in that locality, not so many people had gone to school then. Actually, I want to confess, my degree was the second degree in the whole sub-county. Yes. So, them looking at a student enrolled to senior 1, senior 2 was a myth. And that's why some of us who went to that school, you remember, I told you about just less than 50 students from senior 1 to senior 4. So there was a lot of pulling him down. I was one who would be, of course, they would tell my parents, that one doesn't read. He doesn't reach school. He's always in the center, moving around. So that my parents would actually get annoyed and let me sit down or sit at home. But because my father was a senior 4 graduate, I think he in one way or the other appreciated. And so he did not listen to those people. Senior 3, senior 4, I maneuvered with the second grade, 40 points. They called 40 aggregates. Aggregates, I got 40 at senior 4. I proceeded to senior 6. I want to assure you, I want to tell you. Can I tell you who I am currently? Yes. I am the marketing manager of Mutesa University. But I'm one person who wanted to work for government. I wanted to work for government so much in that in the year 2018 I aspired to become LOC1 chairman of that city where the university is sitting. At Chirimba. So I was elected chairman, LOC. I went and did a diploma in public administration. Alright? After that diploma, in 2021, Masaka City advertised. They wanted town agents or parish chiefs. With my influence of chairman LOC1, because I was interacting with the town clerks, with some other people there, I joined the government. I work with the Masaka City Council as well. Alright? As a town agent of the ward called Bisanje. I don't know if there are people there. I am the town clerk there. Want to wish you the very best. Samson Takamaka Orangali. Thank you, Mr. Bulendi.
After graduating, I taught in a number of schools before I went back to the university that I'm working with. I went back in 2019, and when we were doing the interview for this job that I currently hold, we were 1,216. And they only wanted 4 people. 1,216. They only wanted 4 people. Most of the people that I was competing with even had first-class degrees. So from a Mandasera to university administrator, isn't that concerning? So today I was given an assignment to talk to you about what we call the soft skills. When we were growing up, people used to say that education is the key to success. Haven't you heard that? Yes. But of late, people have started saying that yes, education used to be the key to success. We acquired education, but after getting education, we reached when actually success had changed the lock. So our key could not open the lock. Have you also heard about that? Yes. But that is not true, friends. What success did was simply to add the second lock on its door. In other words, after acquiring education, that is one key. You come and open success. But success won't open unless you have a second key. And that key lies in what we call the soft skills. What we call the soft skills, friends, these are, other people call them the human skills. Others call them, when you go to employment, they are called the employability skills. And when you come here, you could call them the life skills. And these are simply the habits, the attitudes that you must possess as an individual to help you relate well with others. Have you realized that in that senior 4 where you are, there is that particular lady in senior 4 that you don't want to associate with? Am I deceiving? Can I mention the name? Let me leave the name. Have you realized that even in senior 1, when you are in senior 6, probably senior 6, there is that lady in senior 1 that you would wish to associate with. There is that lady in senior 1, even when that lady communicates and you are in senior 6, you will listen. Hallelujah. Those are called soft skills. The qualities you possess. And now these days, even the employers no longer look out for your degree. The degree will help you to be shortlisted. It is a requirement that yes, we want someone who has bachelors of architecture. But now they don't want you to come and just do the architecture itself. They want someone who will come and lead others. They want someone to whom they can delegate power to move out and then talk to the people. That is what now employers are looking out for. Before reaching the other side, we are now here. But the reason was why I'm talking about there, when we are here, it is because here and there are almost the same thing. But the difference is what? Between those two words. Here and there. I've heard. The letter is T. Here, there. And T stands for time. That it is a matter of time. After time we are here, now we shall be there. So we need to learn these skills while we're still in school so that we can achieve academic success. And which skills are these that we are talking about? The first one is communication skills. I want to give you an assignment when you go back home. If you are privileged and at home you have newspapers, all the newspapers, you go to the section where there is job vacancies. You realize that after stating that you need to have a master's, a bachelor's, they will say you must be a good communicator. It is now an added advantage. Now, how does it help us here in academics? There is communication that is needed in academics. First of all, in class. If you're a good communicator, you must be a good listener. So when the teachers are teaching, the teachers are communicating to you. But communication is a two-way. It is sending and receiving. So for the teacher's message to be effectively understood by you, the students, you must be good listeners, which is a component of communication. Unless you work on your communication skills and abilities, academic success may be hard to achieve. Because even at the end of the day, when we are sitting for your neighbor, when they are assessing us, they want us to communicate. They ask a question and you answer, you give your answer. In most cases, you give answers that don't correlate with the questions. That is why someone said you can't get lost when you don't know where you're going. So the answers may be right, but you haven't listened to the question. So if you want to be a good student, you must enhance your communication abilities and skills. How do we do that? She has talked about looking through the mirror. Yes, if you want to become a good communicator, design your message. Speak to that person you see in the mirror. Tell that person, I'm going to present to you and I want you to listen to me. Don't mind, even if you didn't go to a very good primary school. Start by adding those letters, the words, from the words, sentences, and from sentences, passages. You realize that you'll come up with a very good message. As you are communicating, friends, there is a very bad attitude. There are three types of listeners that may sit there and listen to understand the message that I'm delivering. So that one listens to understand. We have another kind of person that will listen to the message but waiting for you to finish such that that person starts to criticize. That one listens to argue, not to understand. Hey, but you've said like this. Why is it like this? 3, there are some other people that listen to the message, but when actually they are hearing the message, but they are not listening. Love is here speaking, someone is as if he's listening, or as if she's listening. Then you say, what have I said? Sir, repeat for me, I've not understood. So that is also nature. So if you want to be a very good communicator, you must listen to understand. And how do we understand? When we realize that what has been delivered is not good enough, then we can raise a concern. It is okay to raise a concern. When you raise a concern, then you'll understand the more. That is why when teachers are teaching, after teaching they say, any questions? And when you don't ask, what do teachers say? That you've either understood or the reverse is true, not so? Yes. So 2, another skill that you need to get as a student. Are we there? It is leadership skill. The leadership skill is another soft skill that you need to have as a student. And leadership doesn't mean that you should be a prefect here. Doesn't mean that you should be the head prefect here. Doesn't mean that you should be the class monitor here. But you can simply, during maybe your group discussions, take on the role of a leader and you say, now, I'll lead in the discussion. As you lead, you learn how to control people, how to manage people's emotions. Because as a leader, you should be in position to take on pressure from different corners. As I've told you, leadership, when you take on leadership, you realize that how many of us know how much MPs earn in Uganda? MPs, members of parliament. You've heard about how much they earn? Can I tell you? They earn over 40 million a month. So that means if you embark on that skill, on leadership skill, you're going to be the person getting in connection with the teachers. As a student, if you don't manage your time, you may end up being caught up. So as a student, you should be in position to create a 25th hour within the 24 hours. That means if lunch is meant for 1 hour, you simply have to say, I'm going to eat beans. Why do I need a whole hour? Eating beans. There are no bones in beans. No, sir? So I simply need 20 minutes. But anyway, when I eat using 20 minutes, they will say, we have a week. So let me go for 30 minutes. So So from the 1 hour, you saved 30 minutes to go back and revisit your work. Time management. How do we manage time as students? We should come up with our timetables. How many of us have reading timetables? How many? Schedule your timetable. And on the timetable, please, you can put on some few minutes, about 15. Self-reflection is ending. Have I learned anything new? Please never accept to spend a full day, 24 hours, without learning something new. At least you go to your colleague and ask the colleague, who is the governor of Bank of Uganda? Then the colleague will tell you, say, hey, I've learned something new. Learn a new word. Learn a new sentence. Learn something new, how to calculate mathematics. That is within those 15 minutes you should do self-reflection. On your timetable, time management is another thing. Adaptability means you can change with the situation. You are now in senior 1, probably you don't go for preps. But when you go to senior 2, then the class teacher starts saying you have to go for preps. As a student, you should be ready to embrace that change. During the recent times, people could use a lot of paperwork, but of recent, government has embarked on using the use of computers. So all those people that ignored learning computer and said, for us, we are not changing. Those people are still there. Whereas the other colleagues that embraced change and adapted to the circumstance, or to the situation, or to the climate, have moved on. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dear sisters, hello, please be ready to embrace change. So as a leader or as a student, if you are to achieve success in your academic career, you must be ready and more than ready to manage your emotions. Some people will be nagging or annoying. You're sleeping on the same decker or in the same room. If we are blessed, we don't have deckers. We have, eh? We don't have. We have, okay. Okay, you're sleeping on the same decker with someone else, but that person is so much annoying. So what do? You simply have to compose yourself, talk to that person, and see how you can make peace. Now, there is one beauty of controlling emotions. One, when you are too excited, don't say anything. Someone gives you a peta, and now you become too excited, you say, I'm even going to give you a dozen of books. Then at the end of the day, you fail to give out that dozen of books. What will happen? Won't you become enemies? Don't say anything. If someone annoys you, don't react there and then. The only reaction that you should do, please walk away. Go and talk to yourself. Listen to yourself and say, but how am I going to react? Is it worth responding to this person? What will happen if I don't respond? Would I die? If the answer is no, then say, okay, let me first calm down and then I'll talk to that person. When you calm down, then you go back to the person and you say, I didn't like the way you treated me. It was unbecoming. But I suggest that next time, even if it is like that, can we do things this way? Another soft skill is conflict management. So as a student, you will find that you are in the same group with that girl who is so much annoying. They are always fighting. So your role, you have to reflect and say, but when Mr. Rugalav was presenting, he said, one, we should have leadership skills. We should be good communicators. Let me come up as a leader to resolve this conflict. Let me communicate to this side. I listen to this side. I listen to this side, and I mediate the two to come up with a neutral position. Are we there? Okay. We have teamwork. Team. You can work together when you are actually going in different directions, not so? But teamwork, you work with a colleague, but you are all aiming at achieving a common goal. You say we want to succeed. I'm very poor at mathematics. How can I improve my mathematics? Then you choose to get, maybe every evening, you pair up with that lady that you know is very good at mathematics. You start doing mathematics number by number. So you'll see the grades changing from E to D, from D to C, from C to A. Someone has said to A. I love that. So please, teamwork, collaborate with others. Please, when you work in a team, you can accomplish a lot of things in a very short period of time. If we had time, I would have demonstrated. But I want you to, when you go back to your dormitory, you get a sentence, a very long one, maybe 10 words. Then you make a team of 10. You tell each of those colleagues in the team, I want you to write one word out of this sentence. Maybe the sentence is, teamwork is a very powerful tool. So you tell the first person, you write teamwork, you write is, you write a, you write powerful, you write tool. Then you ask one that for you, assume you are not working in a team. I want you to write, teamwork is a very powerful team. You give each of those people 3 seconds. Who do you think will finish? The one that is working alone or those that are working in a team? Why? Why? Two heads are better than one. In other words, team splits up work into smaller units that can easily be managed by an individual. Another aspect is planning. Planning. You should be a good planner in whatever you do. I want to tell you a story of one old lady that used to live in the mountains. Because if you don't plan and success gets you offside, you may even lose the success itself. That old lady used to live in the mountains, very poor, but she used to play what they call lottery. How many of us know lotteries? You know? Lottery, gambling, eh? She used to buy those tickets and send the tickets. So, one day, she won a lottery, and it was worth $500,000. But because she was of old age, they said, no, we cannot break the news to the old woman. They said, what we should do, let us get a counselor. We send her a counselor to prepare the lady to receive the good news. So we shall give the counselor 3 months to prepare the lady. They sent a counselor, so the counselor came, could help out the lady. In the evening, could ask the lady, now what would happen, for example, if you won a lottery of 1,000 shillings? The lady could say, that one I can even faint. What about 100,000? That one I just die. Then the counselor could talk to the lady, no, you see, if you are playing these things, it means you can win. So be ready to win. You never know, you can even win 10 million. The lady said, if it is 10 million, I don't even die. I just go to heaven directly. So, after 3 months, the lady was now in the mood. She had started accepting that when you play lottery, you can win. So now, the counselor called the other people of the lottery and told them, I think now the lady is ready. You come. They came. with television, what, and told the lady, you know what? You won $500,000. And the lady wasn't even excited at all. Said, you see, I expected it. Because when you play, you expect to win. But now I'm of old age. What am I going to do with this money? So the lady called the counselor, come. You see, you've been here with me. You prepared me. So out of that money, I only need 100,000. You construct for me a very good house. And maybe put some plantation. Then the 400, you take it. The counselor fainted and died. Because he wasn't prepared to do what? To receive the good news. You know, he came to prepare the other one. But for him, he wasn't. He had not planned for the money anyway. But because of the time that the old lady took on preparing, the old lady got used to success and knew that if success comes anyway, I've worked for it. Now I just want you to imagine, if you've been scoring 80s, that is principal, I think, is it A or B? A in mathematics, and you get an A at UNEB, can you be surprised? No, you'll say, of course I've been working for it. Now I want also you to assume that you've been that person in class who dodges, your results are low, you've been scoring 0.5, F. Then UNEB comes back, you have a principal A. How do you react? You just sit down. Now someone is saying, like, for me, I can't even imagine. So you should be a planner, plan. When you plan, even when you achieve, you won't be excited at all. When you understand those soft skills, they will enable you to work as a team. Hence you achieve success. You understand? 2, when soft skills are understood, they will enhance your working relationship between you and the surrounding community. Talk of the teachers, because you know how to communicate, you'll be the teacher's best friend. Because you know how to communicate, you'll be your friend's best friend. Because you know how to communicate. 2, when you understand soft skills, you'll manage your time effectively. You won't lose time anyhow. And you know, once time is lost, it cannot be regained. 3, when you understand soft skills, you have reduced stress. You know, one of the most stressing times is when you are going for examinations, not so? Cramming to pass the paper. I used to ask them, did you get the notes at night? Now, after reading, because you know you have read just at that moment, you don't even want to shake, because you know when you shake, the matter will run away. So you move to the examination room without even shaking. You sit comfortably waiting to answer. Unfortunately, the question doesn't turn out. Hallelujah. So as I'm preparing to conclude, when you understand soft skills, you stay motivated. You stay motivated because you know that even if a conflict comes up, I'll resolve it. Even if I go to the board and I try out something and I fail it, my colleagues know the soft skills, so they won't back at me, but they rather tell me, instead of a 3, you've written a 6. But when the soft skills are not there, so, but now you learn communication. As I conclude, I want to ask 2 members from this tent, 2 members from this tent, and 2 members from this tent. Thank you so much. Put up for this people. Just 2 soft skills that you think you possess already, you as an individual. Just Let's do soft skills.
Number one is leadership.
Leadership.
Yes. Another one is, I think, communication skills also.
Communication skills.
Yes.
Please put up for. Yes.
Leadership skills and time management.
And time management. Leadership skills and time management.
Teamwork skill. And conflict management.
Conflict management. She's very good at resolving conflicts. So she's the Nawachala of this school.
Communication skill.
Communication skills.
And the skill of teamwork.
And the skill of teamwork. Yes.
I have communication skills.
Communication skills.
And time management.
And time management.
I have emotions intelligence skill.
Yes.
And leadership skills.
And leadership skills.
And then I have a nice accent. Then I'm already assured of what I'm communicating.
Did you hear the last point? She's already assured of what she is. If you understand what you communicate, you will always be confident. A confidence. Hallelujah. Okay. Did you also mention it? Yeah, you tell us. What makes you think that you are the best communicator here in this community?
What makes me think that I'm the best communicator is that I'm ever confident and ever ready for anything.
You're ever confident and ever... Yeah, you didn't mention it. Oh, what did you mention? I'm coming back.
A good communicator is being confident and being determined.
Being determined.
Yes.
You are determined that you have to communicate whether they understand or not. You are determined. Yes.
I believe I have good communication skills because I'm always able to stand out and say anything that is on topic about something.
Exactly. You're not timid.
Yes.
You're not a timid.
Yeah.
You're ready for the outcome. Whether they judge you wrong or right, as long as you've said it.
Yes.
You understand? Senior sixes, are you there?
I think I'm also able to be a good communicator because I'm equipped with some knowledge on everything that is always new talked about. I always quickly find about anything about it and I'm able to come up and speak about it.
You prepare in advance, eh?
Yes.
And prepare before you communicate.
Yes.
When you prepare before you communicate, you are very sure that you are going to communicate effectively, not so?
Yes. Another thing is having the knowledge about the topic I'm going to communicate about.
Situation where you managed your emotions and how you actually managed to manage the emotions.
That day, I came in class. I was not at school. And then by the time I came in class, everything of mine looked to be disorganized. Not in a way I had left my things. No one was there. So I said, who might have done this? I was so much annoyed. But then I said, it is a whole class. Who am I going to ask? When I asked someone, they told me, no one knows about your things, but yet I left them. I've got neighbors. Then I wondered, what should I do? I said, let me first keep quiet, because some of my things were missing. And on coming back, someone told me, your biology book is here. Your chemistry book is also here. So I just got to know that if I had quarreled or if I had said something wrong, people couldn't bring back my things. But instead, they would keep quiet because of the way I might have operated in my first.
I have a question. I just have a question. Before you clap, I just have a question. I want you to assume in that situation that you had known
who had disorganized your things. What did you have to do the reaction? Because now we are lucky you didn't find anyone. You didn't find anyone, but assume that you had found Mariam, or Josephine, or Lydia in those books.
At times, and it's not the only situation. When that happens, I bend on my locker and keep quiet and cry. At times I do cry. But it seems to be painful. Then I think it's what I do first.
Now she has said,
she has openly told us that when she gets into a situation, before even saying anything or mentioning anything, she first cries. Rambi. Imagine her crying. She first cries. So please, that is how she controls her emotions. It is okay to cry. By the way, it is okay to cry. As long as you know when I cry, I'm going to calm down. After calming down, then you go and take on the next most appropriate action. Who else? Who said conflict?
I do feel that I can manage conflicts and find a way out, because there is a times when a person comes and try to make you speak words that are really not appropriate, and then he comes up with words and says like something you have done, maybe it is even beneficial, but then he says like, that's nothing, just take away your nonsense, like tries to disturb you mentally. Then in the end, there is a chance that you have to just keep quiet, say like you have ignored him, so you will find a way like, it is true, I was saying nonsense. Then in the end, he finds a way like,
a leader of your class, you are the class captain, your students, your fellow students want to organize Kadanke. Do you know Kadanke? Yes. You want to organize a dance, eh? Then you go to the headmistress, you tell headmistress, my class wants to organize Kadanke. Then the headmistress asks you, did they come here to dance? I want you to go back and report that information to your class. Who is answering?
You go back, come back to the class and report to them. That is your class. You go back and report to them.
For sure, you know, the head chair seems like not allowing that. But don't you think we can get some other way of talking to her such that she accepts it?
Why isn't she allowing our Kadanke? Hey, you ask her.
I don't feel like repeating what she has said, but I think we should come up with something to
According to the information I have, our HM is like not accepting us to have the donkey. Okay, I bet your silence, but I think we can get ways, on how we can convince her. But I think we have to first have a small meeting and see how we can do about that. And you can help me, we can discuss about how we can convince our HM. Like we know also we have a lot of schools programs, but even our donkey is important, It's important. Yes, we are going to have a meeting and we are going to discuss with you. And we are going to share the ways we are going to convince our HM, We are going to work as a team. Yes? How is banking important? Since you organized it,
We know the uses of blanket. It is very helpful to relieve stress. We are minimizing a lot of books these days. Yes, so minimizing a lot of books, and our blanket will help us to refresh.
Which class are you in? Form 6? Senior 6? Senior 3? Senior 3? 1? You're in senior 1? Senior 1s. You have brains. Now, Madam Headmistress, this team here, I suggest that when it is lunchtime, they should be the first ones on the line. They have done a great job. You are the leader. So, how many? Thank you for being confident. Thank you so much for the way you've answered the questions.
What Mr. Garan has been well played here is what we go through. Sometimes I got students want this, sister tells you, but Mr. Chirigo's, I will not. Then I have to look for all ways. I cannot tell them my sister has refused. Yes. So please, yes, sometimes communication, you have to be principled, calculative. Mr. Golov, those girls, I'm the class teacher. And the senior 6s, all of them, what you have mentioned, like the father of the what? The daughters. So, allow me by sister headmistress.
Now, our next speaker is Reverend Sister Dr. Catherine Goretti Nakatude. This is her background. She comes from Narozari Parish, Masaka Diocese. She studied, I've not got that background of primary education, but hear this very attentively. From senior 1 to senior 6, she studied from here, St. Aloysius. Then later, he joined Nkozi NTC for diploma in education. Later on, she went to Seattle University, USA, where she pursued her bachelor's and master's degree. Later on, she joined Kwea University. Kwea is Catholic University of Eastern Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, where she studied a master's and PhD at the same time in sacred liturgy. She's currently lecturing at Katigondo National Major Seminary. Let us stand up and welcome our own.
Thank you so much. My voice is not the best, but I know you are going to tolerate with me. Pilgrims of hope,
let us deepen faith in the sacraments as the Christian community.
Thank you so much. I thank you, sister, for inviting me. And I thank you all for keeping St. Aloysius shining. Thank you so much. You are academically shining, spiritually shining, and most especially, thank you so much for participating in the diocesan activities. Of recent, you participated in the Education Week. Thank you so much for all that you did. May God bless you. And thank you so much for choosing St. Aloysius as your school. St. Aloysius is nurturing you, is mothering you, and molding you. And as I stand here, as sister has introduced me, I was here from senior 1 to senior 4, and then I'm one of the pioneers of the HSC. We were only 3 students, and do you want to know who they are? Yes. Sister Claire oversees our vicaress in the mother house. I was also one of them, and there was a girl called Caroline Nkoberanyi, and she became Sister Caroline Nkoberanyi. And as I'm saying this, she's a doctor now. She's lecturing in the University of Eastern Africa in Nairobi. So I think we made a very good start. HSC members. Okay. So to have a good future, you have to dream. And one of the men who brought out that idea was Martin Luther Jr. He said, I have a dream. I have a dream. Which dream was that? To see that even Africans become people. I'm saying even Africans become people among the whites in the USA. And I don't know where he is. He realized that his dream came true when Obama became the president of that powerful nation. Let's clap for that man. So when you have a dream, everything can be possible. But not only a dream, but also hope, as we have said. This year is a year of celebration. And Papa Francis gave us that idea of being pilgrims of hope. And when you have hope, everything can come true. And I had to start with a question. Do you have role models? Can you think about one? At least can I get 1, 2, 3, and I get at least 1 or 3 volunteers who can give us, either from sisters or from the political arena or anything. Would you come and tell us your role model, please? Come. 1 here, 1, and the other one from there.
My role model is Sister Nankul. My role model is Sister Zarango Agnes.
His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I love His Excellency. It's the way he's leading us politically.
My role model is Dr. Bartolome Oliver because I like his career as a neurosurgeon and his skills.
Anyone who is looking for a career has to have a direction, a route, a road, a goal, and if one starts a journey, he or she has to know where it leads. Except our ancestor Abraham, who was told by God to go where he would lead him. But many of us who are seated here, we had a choice. Here at this campus, we have 2 senior secondary schools. We have St. Teresa Senior Secondary School and we have St. Aloysius. Many of you did not choose to come here. Either your parents, your sister Senga, your sister Mama, your sister Baba, maybe chose for you to be here. But the moment you enter the premises, you know you are already called by God. You are already called by God because you had another choice. Okay? So firstly, we are chosen by God through baptism. And all the girls who study in this school have to be Catholics. Is that okay? Yes. So you are already chosen by God. You are already confirmed. And even other sacraments. So that gives us a chance to talk about a call. And a call within a call.
called many people in the Old Testament to do his work. And that is where we get that word, a vocation. And that word vocation comes from a Latin word, vocare. All of you vocare. All of you vocare. Which means to call. You are all called by God in different directions. But what we want to emphasize today is that God is calling you. A call within a call. In the Old Testament, I brought my Bible, but now I'm not going to open it because of time. So we remember Amos. Those of you who are in HSC, paper 1. Amos is a prophet of doom. Amos is a prophet of doom. Isaiah is a prophet of God's holiness and others. So when Prophet Amos was called by God, he said, I was a shepherd. I was looking after sycamore trees, and I was looking after my sheep. Now Yahweh is calling me to prophesy to the people of Israel, which means Amos already had his own call as a human being, as a person. Now God is calling him a second time to put on another vocation. That is what we are talking about, a vocation within a vocation. To prophesy or to do anything for God does not mean that it is easy, but God is always with us. When we come to the New Testament, we see that even the apostles had their call. Most of them were fishermen. We remember Peter, we remember James, whose feast we celebrated yesterday, and the others the other day, Friday. So they were called by Jesus to be fishermen, to fish men. And I know you know that song. I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. Okay, thank you so much.
We want to be doctors, we want to be lawyers, but we can be that when we are religious. That is why we are calling upon all of you to embrace the religious life, because it is good. It is God's own calling. It is God's own work in our lives. Being religious, that is not enough, but God is calling us in different ways. When our founder embraced the idea of starting this institute, he had a dream, and his dream was to prepare young girls who would mother the children in this land of wood by then. So he prepared those young girls, and they embraced religious life in 1910. So we are now celebrating many years after their embracing of religious life. So when you are here, we are very sure that we have some people who are following us. And when you come in our institute, don't think that you are just going to sit there without a vocation. So the first vocation is when God calls you to become a religious. That journey is long. You know, sister always talks about it. But after that journey, you can spend some years serving other people, and then you can be given a chance to choose which career you can take. I got my PhD when I was almost 60, almost. So it comes when God allows. But the story is not the same. Each one of us has her own plan, and God has a plan for us. So in Jeremiah chapter 29, this is, I think, what I will leave with you. Jeremiah 29, Jeremiah talks to the people of Israel that I alone know the plans I have for you. I alone know the plans I have for you. Plans for prosperity and plans for peace. So my dear students, when you embrace religious life, don't fear.
Another round of applause to Sister Doctor. Now I know we are all tired. And so we are going to have one more person and then we shall go into lunch. So this time let me invite Engineer Mkwaya. Come and say what to us briefly.
Engineer Mkwaya, Ronnie Chirabira. I'm also soon becoming a doctor in civil engineering. Let me use the language that you understand most, because we always use English, but I want the things I'm going to tell you, I want you to understand them in your local language. Some of you don't understand Uganda. Yes. You dream in English. Okay. How many of you want to be engineers? Engineering is something easy, and we use it on our day-to-day daily talks. Whenever we talk, I want to be engineer, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage. It takes hard work. You're supposed to read so hard. Let me give you my story. For me, when I was in senior 5, I had a friend of mine who was called Imunduni Ivan. He's now a surveyor in Entebbe. But me and him, we sold one mattress of ours because we had to share the same bed, one bed. That means when we sell one mattress, we remain with one mattress. So one had to sleep for some time, then you can wake, and another one will be reading. So it will come and wake you up. Like, I want to sleep. Can you go and read also? Then you go and read. Like that. In the night we could almost like in the night we could even wake up like 4 times.
You want to become a nurse. Your nursing started from primary 1. You being a doctor started from primary 1. Even when you pass this biology with an A, when you never got an E, it is accidental. Sit down. What does your conscience tell you? Go by your core conscience. The Banyarwanda call it Sekatumutima. The Baganda call it Singamutima. Singamutima Buganda chi. Agamba genda ko PCM obadde agamba genda ko engineering. So medicine and engineering. The choice you are going to make, your parents will not be existing. It will either benefit you or cause you cancers. Am I communicating? Am I communicating? Yes. Mr. William, I need to know from you. Equal to university, research and technology. Good evening. I'm sorry, my voice is not good. Okay. Our Reverend Father, the headmistress, the DOS, I have to emphasize, Dean of Students, okay? My colleagues in business,
we had members from KIU, we had members from Chambogo University, we have members from Mutesa, the First Royal, we have our colleague from Masaka School of Nursing. You are all most welcome. The students, we are very much happy to be with you here. It has been a long day and I understand you are very tired. But before I proceed with my interaction with you, allow me introduce my colleagues, the ones I moved with, and I would request them to come and introduce themselves from Equator University of Science and Technology.
All the protocol observed. Let me take this opportunity to introduce myself officially. My name is Bruce Morgan Namanya. I am a laboratorian by training, so I'm a lab scientist, but currently soon also graduating as a dental surgeon. So I have trainings in biosafety and biosecurity, so issues of bioterrorism, I'm an expert, and I also have trainings in laboratory quality management systems. I have worked with the Ministry of Health for quite a while at the Allied Health Professionals Council for very many years. I have been a medical profession for the last 15 years. And I had my secondary education at St. Edward's SS Bukumi, those who know there. And that was about 18 years ago. Thank you very much.
Hello. Yeah, good evening everyone. Yeah, I'm Ronald Sime from Equator University of Science and Technology. I am the estates manager of Equator University of Science and Technology. I started from St. John Paul Gwanya Complex. I went to Blessed Sacrament, Mrs. Chimanya for my level. And then I proceeded for my level from Archbishop Chiwanuka Secondary School. Oh, okay, then that's great. Actually, dear colleagues, for the sake of time, I had to give a speech, and a colleague of mine had to give a speech. But I think Mr. Iga will summarize each and everything that we had to tell you. Okay? So we had a lot. I actually wanted to tell you that I joined Equator University as a porter. You know a porter? Yeah, then when Equator started, I became a cleaner. Then by then I became the supervisor for the cleaner. So as of now, I'm the estates manager of Equator University. Yeah. So under the Faculty of Health Sciences, an office assistant, and also I'm the former Guild Deputy Speaker of Equator University of Science and Technology. Actually, dear colleagues, I'm just telling you all this. It wasn't just a silver plate. Actually, it is a long story. Everyone has a long story to tell you. Actually, yeah. So my dear colleagues, I'm kindly requesting you to kindly be smart. Okay? I had a lot to tell you, but kindly be smart. What is smart? Your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic. Wow, then that's great. That's nice. That's all. I wish you all the best success to the candidates.
Let us give these people a round of applause. You heard someone asking, who is your own role model? But I think these are the best role models we have today. Also, let's give them a hand clap. We may not go far, but these are the real role models we have today. And we want to thank you very much. We really wanted to have this at the beginning of the term, but this term has been having a lot of activities. And we said we cannot really have the term without having this program with these young minds. Thank you so much. And I hope this is not going to be your last time here. Even as we plan ahead next year, when we call you, please don't hesitate to come. Yes. I know you have many questions, right? To ask these people. Yes, we are going to be given that opportunity in a few minutes because we have some other visitors coming to meet us in just the shortest time, within 30 minutes from here. So I know everyone has learned something. I've been happy here when I was seeing people busy writing. That indicates that you've really learned something and jotted out something that is going to drive your life as a student. Not so? Yes, please keep that information safely. You'll need it someday, somewhere. Okay? It has been a long way. It has been a long day. I want to thank you, dear students, for being patient enough. You know our routine every Sunday. Okay? Thank you so much for being patient. But I think this has been the most learning experience. And we cannot really take it for granted. I know every one of you has benefited from this moment. We want to pray for you that as you go back, please, the doors of St. Aloysius will always be open. Every time you feel like coming and sharing anything to these students, we shall always welcome you. Come back another time, even when we plan to have this next year. We pray for your journey mercies, and may God bless you always. Thank you so much.
So, we have any questions? Equator University has given us pens and brochures. When you're in public, always clap hands after the completion of the statement. Others will be disappointed. Now, these pens are going to be somehow critical. They got senior 6 and 5 first. 5 and 6 first.
The Lord is good and all the time. We are privileged to have another group of visitors led by Father Kaziwe. He's going to introduce them to us, but they're here purposely to meet a group of students whom they sponsor. And we requested them at least to say a word, Father, at least to say a word to us. Because today has been a counseling careers day here, we believe their package cannot leave these ladies the same. You're welcome. This is St. Aloysius Bwanda, the home of Catholic values.
Glad to be here this evening. And it's really by God's grace that we are here. God is only providence, because we never knew that we are coming into this kind of situation this evening. But I know God has a reason for bringing us to you this evening on your careers day. We thank the sisters who are taking care of you, the students. We thank the priests also who do a good job instructing you. And I happen to meet here Father George William. I was a little kid in the seminary and he was already a priest. So it's amazing to see how this world brings us together. We will share with these people from the US where he was and where he did his studies. But we are here to encourage you and to inspire you to study hard, to aim higher always, have your goals. You have your goals straight, be focused. When I went to the seminary, Bukarasa Seminary, from senior 1, I was to become a priest, but I knew what I was asking God to become.
Good evening. Yes, my name is Kim O'Grady, and I bring you greetings from my group here, from our parish of Epiphany in Richmond, Virginia, from our families. We're so happy to be able to be here, and I'm so excited to see so many bright young women.